You're listening to Braless Watch, where a mother and daughter team offer their own opinions on watching TV through a feminist lens.
I'm Beth, the mom.
And I'm Lily, the daughter.
Welcome to Braless Watch, where TV watching gets a whole new perspective. Clothing is optional.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm alright. I'm excited for today a little bit.
Yeah, you have a lot.
I have a lot. I have a lot.
Yeah.
So apologize to everybody. I have a lot.
This might turn out to be a long one.
We might. Some of it might be quick. I might be able to just rattle it off and be done with it. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of trivia.
So, can I announce what we're doing?
Sure. We're back in New York again.
We are back in New York again. We are highlighting Taxi from 1978.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, season 1.
Season 1. It had 5 seasons in total, 4 of which were on ABC, and then the last one was on NBC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any reason why it switched over?
Same reason all other shows get switched over.
Money.
It could also be that they had a production change up.
Oh, true.
Like a the head executive people change up, and the show just followed. Pick an executive. That's a possibility too.
That is true. Yeah, that could be for sure.
Shall you explain what Taxi is? Do you want to explain, or you want me to?
No, I can do it. Taxi is a workplace comedy, and it's filmed in front of a live audience.
This is gonna go great,
right? It's set in the garage area, or the bullpen, I guess would be the right word.
They call it the garage.
Yeah, the taxi service. So from what I can tell,
it's where the dispatcher sits.
Yeah, it's where the dispatcher is, which they call the cage.
Yeah.
And it's also where they congregate to eat food and to take breaks and wait on, having their taxi assigned to them and all of that. So, yeah.
It's where they show up and wait. And then when they get back, that's where they wait for either people or whatever.
Right. I don't know very much about the taxi service, like how it's run and stuff like that, but it seems pretty simple.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the people who work on the taxis themselves. You have the people who work in the taxis driving them around.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. From what I understand is that because New York is not flat and it's just an island and it needs to be able to...
they built down.
Yeah, they built down and up.
Yeah.
So the garage, I think, is from ground level, I think.
I was thinking the garage was the basement, but I might be wrong.
I don't know. I just know there's several floors because they mentioned something about upstairs is where like
the taxis are. A lot
taxis
of
are. The mechanics are is where you come in for the bay, I guess, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you only really see 2 in the garage.
Yeah.
So.
And the other thing that's interesting is that there were a lot of employees. So. That just never had lines and things like that. It was just a lot of milling around on the set itself to fill it in. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a taxi company is not going to be 5 people.
I mean, it could be, but it'd
it
be
could
really
be, but
small
it'd be
one.
very small, and New York's not like that.
No, there's a lot of competition too. So yeah, and the workplace is called the Sunshine Company.
Sunshine Cab.
Sunshine Cab Company. I remember the logo because I'm a visual person, but sorry, people. It was produced in 1978, like I said, by Glenn and Les Charles, which are brothers. They are writers and producers for shows like MASH and Cheers. So they've had a pretty good stamp on the mid-century TV sort of like, yeah. So, and it seems to me that those guys are very, in our terms today, would be liberal or very progressive, I guess would be in the right way to...
Yeah, progressive is a good way to
describe it. Yeah. So I was impressed with the choices of actors and stuff that got to be on the show.
Mostly. For me. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have a different perspective.
Yeah.
To me, this is the beginning. Like it's at the baby stages of being able to be progressive. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, but it feels a little late for me because there are other shows that were more progressive at that time.
Maybe.
Period.
Yeah. It also could be the network, like what they required. And
it was ABC. So.
They're producing a product to be sold.
True.
So
True.
Anyway, that's all I got for that.
Okay.
Trigger warnings, people. Unconsented touch, unconsented sexual advance, animal cruelty, assault, mention of rape and sexual assault, alcohol consumption, gambling, immigration portrayal, financial stress, car accident mentions, just FYI, sexual content that's verbal, illegal drug use, LGBT content set up as a joke or a trope, gun violence, racial representation of a robber being a black male, which I found to be interesting, divorce, familial strain, so family strain or estrangement, holiday stress, animal neglect, medical event, religious expression, mental health, specifically depression and loss, violence and theft. Do a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's it's not as bad as last week. Or
right? Yeah, that
weeks.
List was, man, that list was long.
The last one we did.
And tough. Yeah. This was sort of a breath a little bit.
I have to say, yeah. So before we get too far into this, neither of us have ever watched this before now.
Right.
So this is the first time watching for both of us. It was actually really interesting because it's actually a fairly light show. I'm surprised it's not more popular than it is.
Yeah. Especially, I think because it's a workplace comedy that not a lot of people work in a cab company.
Maybe.
So maybe the relatability is not there.
Maybe. I'm just surprised it's not pushed on reruns all the time. Because it's fairly light.
It is fairly light. Yeah, and content and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Even the more serious moments are not that serious.
Again, I think we're back to product sales. Like, is it going to sell right now?
Yeah.
And I don't know, with the onset of Uber and Lyft and other rideshare type stuff, maybe this isn't something that would be.
I think it would be more nowadays.
I mean,
because a lot of the cabbies talk about how they're dealing with random stuff in their cabs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, before we get too far, did you want to talk about how 1978 New York?
Sure.
I did a hand motion with that.
I was a baby, so also leagues away from that. So,
right.
Yeah. As far as my upbringing and where I was during that time. So, I'm imagining what New York was probably hopping and popping and like the edge of culture and like being able to, and influence trends and things like that.
We're hitting the onset of the 80s.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Right.
Yeah. What'd you got to tell us?
You want to talk about money?
Sure.
Because money comes up a lot. Because it's a cab company, right?
It does. Yes.
Money comes up a lot. So $1 in 1978 equals $4.87.
Oh man, Google gave me a wrong answer.
What did it tell you?
$5.08.
I saw both. So I think it depends. Could also be when we were looking.
True. Fluctuates.
Our money fluctuates.
I just rounded to $5 so that I could do the math when they were talking.
There you go. Roughly $5 is fine. In episode 2, for an example, for larger sums of money, in episode 2, Tony's doing a fight for $1,500. So that comes out to $7,308.
Wow.
Right. For one fight. So in the first episode, they do international calls because the phone box doesn't have.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't have. They can get the money out.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lock for the money, and so they do international calls. And I was looking up how much was international calls at the time.
Oh wow, you really deep dived it.
I did. I told you had a few deep dives.
You did.
But it came out to roughly either $3, at max $7 per minute.
Dang.
Per minute.
That's expensive.
That's why most people didn't pay for international calls.
Right?
Unless they had to.
This is before calling cards. That was a few years later.
Possibly. I don't know. I didn't look that far.
Maybe even 10 years later.
Not sure.
Don't catch me on that, people.
This is all coming from her memory.
Right? Also, I was a baby, so.
Right? All right. Let's go over to the actors.
The actors. Okay. Alex Rieger is played by Judd Hirsch.
I have a quick thing about Judd Hirsch real quick.
Yeah.
So I continued watching Warehouse 13 after we finished watching season 1 for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who pops up in one of the episodes? It was great. He pops up as Artie's dad.
Well, we just saw, yeah, he did. And we just saw him in another TV show we were watching just recently.
Mid-century modern.
Okay. The next one is Louis De Palma, is played by Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Wheeler is played by Jeff Conaway. And people may recognize Jeff Conaway from Grease.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I can look at the face. And I was like, I know that guy. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's why I know that guy. Tony Banta is played by Tony Danza. Interesting.
I don't know why they did
alliteration there. Yeah, I don't know why they did that either. And he's super young here, so
right.
Not sure what's going on there.
I don't know what's going on.
Could be like an agent thing. Like the agent was like, you have to get it as close to his name as possible. I have no idea. That would be a deep dive in his biography, right. I think. Elaine Nardo is played by Mary Lou Henner, and is the only woman on the cast.
She
is the main cast. Yeah.
At least in this first season. I have heard that there are other ones coming in, but I might be wrong.
Possibly. I don't know. Again, you and I have never seen this.
No, I only watched up to the end of this season. There's no more
yeah, me too.
past that.
Latka Gravis is played by Andy Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
John Burns is played by Randall Carver. Mm-hmm. And incidentally, he was born in Fort Worth.
Huh.
Yeah. Jeff Bennett, I wanted to add him. He's Louis' assistant in The Cage. And he's played by J. Allen Thomas.
Okay.
He had a few lines, and I just wanted to highlight that there was at least, a few black actors got some lines, and they were...
Oh, yeah. They definitely got lines. I'm surprised. I thought he was a cab driver.
No, he's like Louis' assistant.
Okay.
And I was reading about it, and as the series go on, he gets more and more lines.
That makes sense.
I wanted to go ahead and add him to the list.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Fair warning. This is Randall Carver's, and so he plays John Burns.
Yes.
This is his only season.
It is. It is. I read about that too.
Yep. It's his only season because his character was too close to Tony Banta.
Yeah, apparently the two of them, they didn't, as far as I understand it, they didn't fight for lines, but
no, it wasn't. There was no fighting or anything like that.
No. It was all trying to parcel out lines, and the two characters were too close in their developments, I guess.
And they were also too close in, I guess age is a better way of putting it. So, yeah. There's too much of all the same.
Yeah.
He was very similar to Bobby and Tony.
Yeah, I can see that.
Was. He's too close to all of them. And also it was a weird thing in that first episode, which we can go ahead and talk about. That first episode was a little weird for me. I did like the international phone call thing. That was very clever because they had to repeat their names. And so it forced the audience to remember their names.
Right.
So that was a very cool idea. But Elaine's character is new to the cab company.
Right.
Like that was her first day.
Yeah.
John was a customer, and then he decides to be a cabbie.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was just John was like not well thought out.
He wasn't well thought out, and he wasn't well set up for a character on the show.
He wasn't.
And sorry, but he didn't add any value to the show either as far as a character.
He didn't. I did like the Money Troubles episode with his wife.
Yeah.
Because he gets married in this season. That was wild.
I'm sure we'll get to that.
That was wild. But yeah, I did like that episode in particular because they were, having an actual conversation about money in New York.
Yeah.
It was very relatable.
Yeah. Especially living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's expensive. Even back then.
While they were both going to school.
Yeah.
It was a very relatable episode. Anyway, but he didn't add too much. But also, I didn't like Elaine's character either. I'm going to be honest. She was set up sort of as an afterthought for me. Mm-hmm. She was very much the motherly figure. She came in and just became a motherly figure for all these guys. Right.
And this is before the audience knows that she has children. So it didn't make sense for her to be motherly when we didn't know anything about her.
Well, and she was motherly to the opposite of Alex's fatherly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, overall, I'm not a big fan of Elaine's character, and it has nothing to do with the character, and it has nothing to do with the actress. It has everything to do with the writing.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. She didn't get the boost she needed.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
They had
it's like
so
Mary
many...
Lou Henner got cheated in some kind of way.
Right. They had so many chances of, showing her as a single mother and a divorced woman, and
especially living in New York,
working 2 jobs, trying to get make a name in the art world. They had so many chances, and they just didn't hit the mark.
Yeah.
With Elaine's character.
Can we say token female character?
Oh yeah, very much so. Yeah. And that's why it seemed very much like an afterthought of, we should have
ornament.
We should have a female character, and she's an object. She has very few lines, and when she does, she's overly protective or overly motherly.
Or overly friendly. Did you catch that?
That too. Yeah. She's also overly pushy. In this first episode, she's very pushy to Alex for him to call his daughter. Mm-hmm. Which is crazy. She just met Alex. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know his life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What the fuck?
And she doesn't set it up as from a female perspective, blah, blah, blah. Right. She just blurts out her opinion unsolicited.
Yeah. And then pushes him to call his daughter. Call his
15
ex-wife.
years or something like that.
It's longer than that. I think it was 20.
20 years? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, because or maybe 15. You might be right. She might be 17 going off to college, the daughter.
Yeah. Anyway, he hadn't seen her or talked to her or anything.
He hadn't heard anything about her.
No.
Because he hadn't talked to his ex-wife either.
No.
It was crazy.
The ex-wife, I can't remember the full details, but the ex-wife made some kind of...
said it was better for both of them.
Yeah, she set it up so that he wouldn't call.
Yeah.
And he basically consented to that and never did.
Yeah.
Chase her down or anything, which I can get into that, but we're not going to.
No, we don't have time for that. We have a huge list, and this is episode 1.
We do.
But that whole interaction, and then he goes down and he tries to be a father, and I just don't understand.
Right? The whole first episode was kind of weird. I was like, this is the introduction to this show? Weird.
And then, then John Burns' character sticks around. It was just all weird.
Yeah. Like you said, the whole phone situation, that seemed appropriate to the garage, to the workplace
very
stuff.
Clever.
Just that first episode, I wish it would have stayed with the work.
Right? Stayed rather than going down to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was also weird that everybody went except for Elaine.
Right? Yeah.
It was
just interesting and weird. Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Do you know how far New York is to Miami?
I did not look that up, no.
I didn't either. It's several hours.
It is several hours. I do know that logically.
12 hours? 15 hours? Something like that?
It might be longer than that, yeah.
It might be. It's from one end to the other on the East Coast, so.
People do that drive, though. People do that drive.
Yeah, it's not uncommon.
But it was just weird for Alex to just take a cab and go.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you want to go next?
I would like to talk about episode 3.
Okay.
That's the blind date.
Yes.
So first thing, I have a quick trivia thing that's just from my head. It's not even written down. It's Angela, the character.
Yes. Yeah, I wrote some stuff about her.
Well, it's not about her, actually. It's about the theme song. The theme song was written after that episode was written, and they named the theme song after that character.
Oh, wow.
So the theme song is called Angela.
Wow. The theme song to the show?
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, you really did. Okay. Did not know that. Awesome. Yeah. Did you have some opinions about the show itself, the episode itself?
That episode was really interesting. Because Angela has low self-esteem because she's been
ridiculed, picked on, bullied,
pushed out to the fringes of society because of her size. Mm-hmm. And I like the episode itself because Alex says, what does he say? I feel like I'm walking away from a car wreck with a person trapped inside.
Oh,
that's
his sense of pity, and she was trying to push him off from even feeling.
She was,
that. Yeah.
But I think it's I think it's different than pity, though. It's more like I see a person in need, rather than just somebody.
I can see that.
She just needs a friend,
right? And somebody to stick around, not stick barbers in her for being a larger bodied person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What did you think of the episode?
I thought it was interesting how they portrayed her as a self-deprecator and all the ways that she was pushing this person away, pushing Alex away, and Alex just kept coming and like, what are you talking about? Like,
right.
Like it was a gaslighting thing. He's like, I don't understand what's going on. Because he couldn't see past, like his empathy was different in that way, right?
Right.
He couldn't perceive it because he's not in a body like that, and he doesn't live in a woman's body. He doesn't live in a larger body. He doesn't have any of these challenges. And it's not that he didn't have empathy. It was a good learning experience for him, I think. But I think part of it was she challenged him to think differently about the whole, like a holistic way of thinking about people.
Right.
Because you're right. She just needed a friend, and he can do that.
Right.
Yeah. So in the end, they worked it all out and everything. One of the things, to speak to his empathy, one of the things I thought was really, really cool, and I don't know if this was direction or something that they told them to do, or if this was Judd Hirsch sort of acting this out for his character, but when he went to hug her at the end, he patted her hair, like slid his hand down her hair.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that's so like loving and caring and compassionate as just human to human, you know? Yeah.
I bet it was Judd Hirsch.
Big hug, and then his hand slid down her hair because her hair's long.
Yeah, she had really long hair.
Yeah, it just slid down her back, and it wasn't this pat. Like sometimes you get the pats, like, you know, oh, good job, or pat, you know,
yeah,
I love you. Blah, blah. But no, he like smoothed her hair out, and it was just a sweet gesture. And I have never seen that before. I don't think, not unless it was something part of the, like, and I would be used to it or something if the character had already developed that way. But this is an introduction. This is episode 3.
Right.
And we're trying to do this, I don't know, some kind of social justice thing about, you know, looking past larger bodied people, I guess.
Well,
and
just treating people as their people.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was an interesting physical gesture.
Yeah.
And body language. So yeah, it was good. It was a good I like the last scene of that. But she had to have in order to get to that scene, that she had to have had challenged him.
Yep. And then he had to challenge her.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because she kept asking like 3 times. So we'd just call each other,
right,
and just talk because we had a bad day. Like,
right. She was double checking.
Yeah.
Because she hadn't had a true friend.
Right. In a long time.
And who knows how long.
Yeah. Just everyone she encountered just was not good for her.
And pushed her away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once they saw her, because she was a phone operator.
Yeah, that was how they met. Like, they had some really cool conversations, and then he wanted to ask her out because of the conversations, and that's what he was attracted to.
Yeah.
And then he got to realizing it really doesn't matter what kind of body you live in. I want to know you as a person.
Right, because they had a great conversation.
Yeah.
Shall I talk about phone operators real quick?
Sure.
Shall I bring in my trivia for phone operators? Because I kind of fell down a rabbit hole.
My goodness.
So phone operators by this time were being slowly phased out. So
I was going to say the technology had changed.
Yeah, they were slowly being phased out. I'm surprised they did this by this point. But anyway, they were being phased out. But however, phone operators at the very, very, very beginning, 1878, very beginning.
Wow.
Was when the first phone system was created in New Haven, Connecticut.
Here in America or ever?
Here in America.
Okay.
I think ever, because it was all built here, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So the job was to physically connect calls using wires on a switchboard. So that was the actual job. Slowly, automation took over, and the job changed so that phone operators were helping connect international calls, looking at phone numbers. In this case, it was a voicemail, placing conference calls, things like that. The episode was about voicemails. So nowadays, all of that's mostly automated, except for like emergency services and when you call a building and you don't know an extension. That's normally when you end up
connecting to somebody,
calling like a secretary or something, and then they connect you into wherever. I
would also say support services. So, you know, there's some numbers that end in 11, not necessarily 911, but there's other numbers that end in 11 where you can get some kind of operator to confirm or deny or whatever resource that you're looking for. And that's all over the country, from what I understand. They all end in 1-1 here in America.
I was about to say, not everywhere.
Not everywhere. In the UK, it's 999. Yeah. And who knows how they get services and stuff over there.
I don't know the other
differentiated.
services.
So, yeah.
I do have another side note for phone operators. I fell down a rabbit hole. I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
So originally, at the very, very beginning, phone operators were young boys.
Really?
They were. However, they were unreliable.
I can't imagine why.
Right? Would randomly connect people together and cause a lot of wait times because they were horsing around, playing around, and not paying attention to their job. Because of that, they were removed, and women and young girls were hired as they were more professional and able to multitask without being distracted. There's even photos of them knitting while they're doing their work.
Wow. Okay. That's really cool. Did you happen to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole on how people connected by number or like and location?
No.
Okay.
I didn't get too far.
Because I don't know if we mentioned it in the I Love Lucy episode, but when they call, it's circa H79
you have to say where it's going. And then,
and then they connect, the operators connect it, right? This is in the 1950s.
So the circa part is probably where the switchboard is.
Probably. Yeah.
That would be my guess. And then the switchboard operator can then switch to...
And then if I can remember it, please don't come at me. But then it changes to almost like license plates where there's letters and numbers mixed together that kind of, I guess, identify the location in which you're calling from and then where you're trying to call to. Or
that doesn't last very long.
It doesn't last very long because then we get area codes.
Then we get area codes and then things expand from there.
You want a little bit of personal history on phone numbers for me?
Sure.
So when I was growing up, area codes really didn't exist. Especially when I moved back to the small town to live with my grandmother. We still used 7 numbers.
Wow.
As I was growing up, it then became 10 numbers. Then the area code was added.
Yeah, the area code was added.
Yeah. And I've also been around long enough to know that New York added a prefix number that split New York in half.
It did. Because New York was too big.
414, I think, is one of the numbers for...
That's one of the numbers.
Area code norm. Yeah, 414. So, how did I know that? I'm not even living there. So, human Google here. So, anyway, and then they started doing the area codes, and then area codes had to be added. And that was during the time when pagers were coming on, and then cell phones came.
Yep.
Yeah, and when caller ID was coming on.
Yep.
So the area code would tell you where the call was coming from if you knew the area code.
Nowadays, that doesn't fully work. Yeah. Obviously.
Right.
Because people move and then they don't change their number. I mean, I moved and I didn't change my number.
Exactly. So, and also the difference too is that if you were trying to call overseas, now it's +1 or +10 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, or +11, depending on where you're calling. So that gives you a location too, especially from here in the U.S. to somewhere else.
Well, it's just like in an office building, you dial 9 to get out.
Yes.
Because if you don't do the 9 at the front, it'll try to do within the system.
Will. Yeah.
Within its own building, or you
have to tell the system how to call.
Right.
Basically, by using the right coded number.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it's more automated after that.
Yeah. Boy, that was it
was a rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole.
We fell down. All right.
Hey, what's next?
I want to talk about episode 5. Episode 5 was called "Come As You Aren't." That's Elaine's main first episode.
I know, and it did not land.
It didn't. It was kind of. I'm going to be honest. It was a little dull.
I highlighted some stuff.
So what did you want to talk about with it? Because I've only got a few things.
So I have a problem with her utilizing rape and sexual assault as a verbal weapon when there was no contact between her and the guy. I mean, the way she was saying it was like, rape,
Right. It wasn't very loud.
And she wasn't like hanging out a window. And she clearly was not in distress. And then also she had it at her disposal, the CB.
Right.
So if she was in trouble, that would be the first thing she would grab. So it literally became a joke. And I was like, you should not be joking about that.
Right.
So it didn't land with me.
It didn't land with me either.
This, like you said, this is her first introduction. And this is where they go with it.
Right. This whole episode is Elaine's she's the main topic. And it's just the whole thing at the very beginning. The guy's an ass. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He doesn't come across really well.
The guy is a complete ass. And I don't think she handled it well either.
No. This is speaking to male privilege.
Yep.
Specifically white male privilege.
Right.
In that, he's like, you won't get very far with that because I'm part of, and I don't know if you caught this.
He was a national secretary of the Gay Liberation Force.
Right. Which does not exist.
It does not.
Right.
However, the Gay Liberation Front
does
exist. And it was created immediately after the Stonewall riots in New York in 1969.
Yeah, and I felt even more angry, I guess, because here's this guy supposed to be like progressive. And he's like using his station in this gay liberation force to like usurp her. Like it was this verbal bantering back and forth, and neither one of them were going to get anywhere. So it didn't make any sense to me. And it could be coming from a current lens rather than watching it from when I was, if I'd been when like a teenager or something like that in my 20s, then maybe if I was an LGBT person, I might take it differently. Right. But I don't think so. I don't know. Anyway, I just found it in poor taste.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it does set up the end of the episode, right? Where she's more upset that he doesn't recognize who she is because he ends up at her party.
Oh, yeah.
She's upset that he doesn't recognize who she is. She yelled at him for like 15 minutes, that whole car ride.
Yep.
Yet he doesn't recognize who she is.
Right.
And like 2 days later or a day later.
Right.
How do you not remember somebody you yelled at?
Because he wasn't listening. Didn't care.
He didn't care.
Yep. Which, again, go back to if he's that progressive, he should be. But this is the stickler. You can be progressive and not be a feminist.
Well, and you can also be progressive and not recognize that people are people.
Yeah. So there's difference between being a humanist, right, and being holistic in that and being able to see all of that, than being someone who is privileged and pigeonholed and bigoted in their own right and in their own way. And that's how he came across. So, yeah, none of it sat well with me.
No.
So
it didn't sit well with me either. I didn't really like the episode together either. It didn't
coalesce very well.
Because they didn't know how to write Elaine. It was obvious that there's not a female writer.
Right? Very much so.
It was very obvious because they never could figure out how she was supposed to be.
Well, who did she lean on to build the party and
right? Why was she leaning on? I mean, did she really need Alex?
No, she didn't need Alex.
She didn't need any of them there.
No.
So it was a weird way of trying to write everyone in together.
You know what the funniest part of this whole episode was? Lotka showing up in dirty overalls. And then he's like, hold on. And he goes away and then comes back in a clean set.
Clean one, yeah.
That was the funniest of the whole thing. I mean, I realize that's then that speaks to my humor, like that.
Well, and it also
makes sense to me.
It speaks to the time period, right?
Yeah.
It does speak to the time period of not having female writers and not needing female characters because they want a female audience, but not knowing how to write them.
Very much so. So I did write a sentence about it. I don't know how much of this is actually, I just wrote a sentence about it.
Okay.
So I wrote interesting scene between her and the like in the cab, right?
Right.
I said interesting scene that examines the links of power that women have to try to pull to force their own thoughts to be heard and seen. And even that didn't work because he didn't remember her.
Right? Because the whole friction, right, the main part of the friction, besides that he's just a general ass, comes from she takes a different route than what he's expecting.
Right.
Because it's faster. because he said he needed to be there fast.
Right.
So she went the faster route that she knows.
But it wasn't what he expected or wanted or whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
But he didn't clarify that and started yelling at her instead.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, this doesn't sit well with me at all. This whole one didn't. Mm-mm. It also is the first episode where we figure out she has children.
It is, and it just kind of came out of nowhere because before that, there was no mention of that or even just a side thing. And then also, I don't know if you caught this, but her children change.
I know, right? Didn't at some point they said that she had girls?
She had girls. She had 2 girls.
And then later there was like a boy and a girl?
Later she has a boy and a girl. I'm like, what? Do you
I have another
know?
continuity too. We'll get there, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it was the first time we even knew that she had children.
Right.
Because I was like, what? Wait, she has children?
Right.
So why is it the one female character on here is one that is divorced and has 2 children?
Right. I don't know. I think it was supposed to show her desperation for a job, which is really funny because they all like their job. Tony has the best. He explains the job really well. There's an episode towards the end where Alex is deciding on leaving the job. But Tony says, it's a great job. You're outside cruising in the fresh air. You wear what you want. You work when you want. It's the kind of job where you can make out without killing yourself.
Mm-hmm. That freedom and flexibility.
Freedom, flexibility. All you have to do is call and say, I'm not coming.
And you get interesting stories. From
right?
The people that you drive around. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I can imagine it being very interesting to have that job and to, I think the safety factor would get me.
Probably. So my next episode that I have listed is Money Troubles. Did you want to talk about the wedding first?
Yeah, so I had some stuff highlighted.
Okay. So the wedding episode is the Great Line.
It is episode 6, yeah.
6th episode. I didn't like the whole pickup line situation. That pickup line would not work on me.
Nope. So this is what I had to say about that. Heteronormative assumption that all men and women want to get into a marriage, which is not true. Elaine did not offer any advice in the conversation on how to pick up a woman.
Because she was just there. She's a prop.
Yep, she was an ornament.
It was very frustrating.
A pretty ornament sitting in a chair.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah. So, and then John was coerced and influenced into getting married. Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
Well, so...
Also, why would the pickup line be, will you marry me?
Right. I don't
and
know.
Then the woman accepted.
Right? She went with it. And then they actually do it? It was weird.
It was so weird. And then all the girlfriends around her let her?
Right?
Like, where were her friends?
Right? Why did they let her leave with him?
Right? And then she didn't tell her parents, which comes later, but golly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That one's funny. I mean...
Anyway, so I have a quote from that particular episode.
I mean, I have quotes, but...
I think John said this. Somehow, comma, to me, comma, if you don't get married, you don't die. Why did I write that? You don't die?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you do die?
That was John.
Die. Oh, was it John?
That was John. So what John was talking about was his...
Oh, you don't die. That's right.
His life plan was being married, have kids, then you die. If you don't get married, you can't die.
Right. It's like a ticket to long life.
That's not how that works.
There's actually, truthfully, there's actually studies that have shown that men who get married actually live longer. So there is some truth to the statement. So, because, being married supports you being a better person, quote unquote.
Well, for a man.
For a man.
In this system.
Heteronormative.
In our current system.
It's all in the heteronormative lens. Yes. I'm not speaking to any kind of other arrangements. So yes, but the statement itself stands because there's some studies out there that show that men actually have better health, better mental health, better because they're married to women. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense.
So that was their marriage episode, and it was just a weird one. And then it jumps to episode 9.
And I have a little trivia on that one, just FYI.
Oh, you have more for
just
episode 6?
Yeah.
Okay, go back to episode 6.
the post office charges 15 cents to mail a standard letter during that time. It is now 73 cents in 2025.
Okay.
So I don't know how much of a percentage increase. Math people, you can do that. But yeah, that's a pretty significant jump.
It is. That is a significant
So anyway,
jump.
I just thought that was interesting. Okay.
So then their relationship isn't really talked about until episode 9.
Right?
Again. And that's when they're having money troubles. So that they move in together. They're relying on her parents, which, by the way, Suzanne is the wife. It's never explained what she does for a job. John's working and going to school. She's going to school to be a nurse. What does she do?
Going to school to be a nurse?
Yeah, but like...
She doesn't work.
Then
because her parents support her.
But then they're not. At this episode, they're not.
Oh, no, they're cutting it off.
They're pulling it.
Yeah. Without any notice, apparently.
Right? Well, because they're moving to Florida.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to me that parents that Suzanne had would have had a conversation with her that there was an expiration date to their support.
Possibly.
It seems like they would have done that, but they didn't in this episode.
If you notice in the other episode, they're not talkative.
They are not.
They do not talk
I actually
to her.
wrote the other episode about that.
They ignore her.
The daughter being taught by her parents to virtually conceal everything from them.
Right?
I was like, that's some parenting skills.
They just don't talk about anything.
Right? Yeah.
So, yeah. One thing I liked about this episode was that John's immediate reaction was that she would have to quit school.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which is ridiculous. Why? And of course she fights back and is like, why do I have to be the one to quit school?
I mean, I'm glad she was standing up for herself and advocating, but
right?
Heteronormatively and in the realm of society, patriarchal society, the woman is the woman is supposed to be the one that steps back.
Mm-hmm. He does it again with the coin toss and then tells on himself, but because they do a coin toss to decide.
I don't necessarily see John as a green flag guy all the way around,
He's
but
not.
I mean, at least he tries.
He's a
rolling eyes.
Standard white guy.
He is a standard white guy.
Which is part of the reason why the character
He's
only
also
shows
easily
up again.
coerced, right?
Right.
So I did write about this is the continuity error I found. Louis is trying to coerce John into inviting him into dinner. So that whole conversation was weird to me. And finally, John asked Louis, will you come to dinner with Elaine next week? And I actually ran it back to see if I had heard that right. So then they cut to the scene where the dinner is taking place, and the guests are Latka and Alex.
Yes. So what was happening was he was inviting the people. So he had invited Bobby and Tony over for dinner. Now it was Alex and Latka because their apartment's not that big. So they can't invite everyone over. So it's like been 2 people at a time. So it was Alex and Latka.
I must have missed that then because I was like, what in the world?
And then Elaine was going to come. It was
so it's going to be Louis and Elaine.
And then it was going to be Louis and Elaine.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you for that clarity.
Yeah.
Because I was like, continuity error?
At first, I thought their apartment was fairly big because that was like a living room. And then I realized, no, they live in a sofa bed. That's where they sleep.
Oh, yeah. It's a one-room efficiency.
It's a 1-bedroom. It has a bathroom.
It's still kind of large for New York, actually.
It is. It was pretty big. Bobby's apartment is huge.
It was, but he's an actor, and I'm sure he's got some money.
He's got no money. He doesn't work. He's an actor who doesn't work.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, I think his apartment is the lower basement
below
of
something.
one. Yeah. Anyway, so that might be space that's bigger, actually.
One thing I forgot to mention for episode 5 is I think Elaine's floor, the carpet in there in her apartment, was the exact same floor as what's in Bobby's. Like the carpet's the same because it's the same shag brown.
That's possible. I do want to say that I also saw in the configuration of Elaine's apartment, it is very similarly set up to Mary Tyler Moore's apartment in Mary Tyler Moore Show.
I haven't seen that, so I wouldn't know.
It's not the same, but it is very similar.
I found hers weird, just going back to Elaine's apartment real quick. Her kitchen is tiny in comparison to the size of the living room. Mm-hmm. Why was it that tiny in comparison?
Well, so if you heard her right at the beginning of the party, she said, I had to put my kids' beds away.
She said I had to put my kids' stuff upstairs.
I thought she said, there's an upstairs?
Upstairs.
Oh. I guess I misheard that because I thought she said beds.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Kids' stuff upstairs.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So she lives in a pretty big place.
She does.
So that doesn't fit with the narrative.
See, everything's weird.
Yeah,
things are
it doesn't
weird.
fit with the narrative.
Okay.
So back on episode 9, did you do the money conversion?
No, I did not.
Okay. So Alex, helps out or wants to help out.
Right, because he has a little extra income because he's a single person in New York.
Right,
and
with no responsibilities.
He's the best booker in the cab company.
Yes, he is. So they say they need $2,500.
Right.
In today's money, in 2025, that would be $12,500.
Damn.
Yeah.
He never gets that back because John leaves.
$12,500.
He never gets that back because John disappears. So.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Moving on. Let's go to episode 14. Okay. Sugar Mama.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dee.
Yeah. This was a very interesting, diverted episode. Right? It didn't match the formula that they'd already established.
Well, so a lot of sitcoms have an A plot and a B plot. This one didn't really have a B plot. It was all A.
It was all A, and it was very sweet. I found it to be sweet.
It was very sweet, but it also ended weird, I think. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't resolve their issue of...
Do you always look for a resolve, though? Or a resolution at the end of...
Not a resolution, just some kind of... Because they decided to, leave each other, right? Walk away from each other. And Alex invited her to lunch, I guess the next day or whatever, and said he'd pay. But then that was it. The whole problem was her paying him for his time.
I mean...
And making him feel like a gigolo. That's
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
That was the crux of the problem, and it didn't really resolve anything.
Yeah.
Didn't go anywhere.
I mean...
And that's okay. It was just weird.
Okay.
A lot of these episodes are weird for me.
I guess I'm used to stories not having a tied ending to it, like the whole arc.
I mean, I would be fine with having an arc if subsequent episodes had some kind of arc with it that involved this character as well.
This is kind of leaning into Alex's, like we could do a whole podcast probably on Alex's character.
Oh, gosh.
And his empathy and like how he befriends people.
He really loves dogs.
He loves dogs. So there's a whole thing about Alex that could be, we could do a whole thing on Alex. But I think we can assume that Alex doesn't make friends lightly, that he invests in people that he knows will invest back into him.
True.
So, I think that this is a long-term relationship. And he was just setting things straight right there at the end. Like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm not going to be this representation for you.
I just wish there was more, even just one comment on it would be nice.
I know, but this is the writers we're talking about.
I know. The same with Angela.
Right?
From episode 3. It would have been nice to just got off the phone with Angela kind of situation.
Yeah, just bring her back up again. But no, there's no continuity in those things, no.
I realize that because it's 70s sitcoms.
Well, and also, each sitcom was supposed to stand on its own, I guess. There was, yes. Yeah, so you're not going to get what you want out of that because we don't live in streaming services, Missy. Here, this is 1978.
Sorry, I just want some resolution. God. Anyway, Dee is a very wealthy passenger.
Yes, older lady.
She just takes Alex around. He drives her around and doesn't ask questions.
She basically bosses him and then pays him to drive her wherever she wants to go.
Right? He becomes a driver for her.
Basically, yeah.
Which, he could do.
And there was one scene, she's like, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. And he's like, ugh, Right. I guess he was getting tired of having the one passenger every day, but.
Right. Well, and he's been a cab driver for 10 years. We find that out later in the series, but he's been a cab driver for 10 years. And so he's used to picking people up, dropping them off and never seeing them again.
Yeah. Only getting blips of their
glimpses in their lives.
Yeah. Of their stories. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially in that moment, like captures.
Right.
It's almost like they're a photographer, but then you have to like commit it to memory.
Right.
Because there is no product from that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Dee's a really cool character all on her own because she started out, right? We learn more about her, right? Mm-hmm. That she was poor for a really long time. Poorer, right? Because she worked. And then as she was hitting retirement, she met a wealthy guy and married him. Mm-hmm. And then he up and died. Left her all the money.
That's a beautiful story.
It is.
How lucky for her.
Right.
But Dee is also played by Ruth Gordon.
Okay.
Who was a very progressive actress. She's got some questionable stuff. I encourage everyone to look her up because she's got a very interesting acting career behind her. In the scripts and stuff she would pick. And for this episode alone, she earned an Emmy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Can you imagine being that late in life and finally earning it? I mean, didn't look into her whole bio, but earning an Emmy just for this one episode, for this little bit of time that she spent on this TV show. So I thought that was really cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So, and also I noted that most of the cast wasn't in this episode.
The only time they're really in it is when they're picking on Alex for having a mommy Warbucks.
Yeah.
Taking it back to Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really, they're just picking on Alex.
Yeah. Man, when does picking on people become, I guess it's when it becomes harmful.
Because this wasn't harmful. They
were just jazzing him.
They were just jazzing him.
Oh, okay.
They weren't trying to be mean.
Yeah.
It was just more of he's not being a general cabbie right now.
Yeah.
And he's actually losing out on other fares. But it's okay.
He is. Yeah.
She's paying him well.
Yeah. I actually didn't have any trigger warnings for this particular episode.
It was fairly light. I mean, you do see the underside of an airplane. I don't know if that would be a trigger for anybody, but
maybe it might sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it wasn't even that long.
They're right at the edge of the runway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We're going to go next.
Episode 17. Elaine and the Lame Duck. I hated this episode. And this just further proves that they had no idea what to do with Elaine.
Yeah. Yep.
They wrote the guy. He had a lot of background, a lot of different things, and then Elaine is just there.
And then she turned around and became his ornament.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about it real quick. So the lame duck. So by the way, a lame duck, in this case, a lame duck in politics is a outgoing politician, whether it's because he's unpopular or because he's at the end of his term limit, is seen as a lame duck because they have less influence over other politicians and getting things done. However, they can make a lot of free decisions without fear of consequence. So it can be a good thing. However,
because their career's not leveraged over them.
Right.
Yep.
Because they're done. They're at the end of their career
for that
position.
Did you get the history on why it's called lame duck?
I didn't look that far. No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Homework for you people. Look up lame duck. No, I'm just kidding.
If you really want to know, go look it up. I didn't get that far. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't look it up either. I just took it as a political term and just went on.
Well, so this congressman in the episode is not a good guy.
He's played by Jeffrey Tambor.
He is. But it's Alex, right? He picks him up from his date.
Yes.
And poor Jill. Jill was his date.
Original
date. And she's just done with this dude.
Yeah.
She just wants to get out.
Yeah.
She's just so done.
He wears his insecurity like a fucking jacket.
He does.
And then he expects people to be all nice to him and everything. And he's not offering anything of any kind of genuine anything other than his own insecurities. That's it. That's all he's got to offer.
It's very frustrating.
It's very unattractive.
It is. And
as a person.
Apparently he tried to order in French and tried to be all suave about it, but it didn't work because she ended up with 10 pats of butter for her entree.
Right. Again, not being authentic to himself.
And ordered for her.
Right? Yeah.
Jill's just done, and I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her.
I, at one point, oh my words.
What?
I never felt sorry for the lame duck guy.
No. I was annoyed that Alex kept talking to him. They kept talking.
Because they were broing it up.
It was very annoying. And then Alex and the others kind of, I guess they force Elaine. We don't see it. We don't see what happens. Kind of ask Elaine, force Elaine, whatever, to go on a date with him. And I assumed as a viewer, that it was going to be like a practice date, because the other cabbies were at another table or came into another table. So I assumed it was going to be like a practice date for the congressman, for Elaine and Alex and the other cabbies to give
lessons
pointers
on how to date.
Right. That's what I thought it was going to be. And it was not that at all.
She was used as an ornament, as a tool to give this guy more security or more confidence. What's really weird
is that she continues to date him.
Right.
So yeah, first date went bad, whatever. She decides to go one more time to see if it's really that bad. But then she continues for weeks.
Yeah, you can some of the writing, you can tell she was arguing with herself about whether or not to stay in the relationship.
Well, you can.
And in my head, I kept screaming, "Get out, girl! Get out! Get out! Run,
Elaine, run!"
Yeah, exactly.
I literally wrote that in my notes. Elaine, run! Just run,
girl! Get out of there!
Right? Do not open that door.
You in danger, girl!
Do not pass go. Get off the Monopoly board. Right. So, but then she comes to Alex, right? And the congressman is wanting to take it to the next level, take the relationship further, because they haven't had sex yet. And is wanting to take it further. And she's trying to figure out how to break up with him. But then she ends up sleeping with him anyway.
I know, it's so confusing.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Nope.
And then they stay together? What?
And then he asks her, basically,
to marry him?
Good for you, you know?
Yeah, and then he also asks to marry her, basically.
Right, all in the same sentence, like, was I good enough? And then, do you want to marry me? Like, it's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So bad. And also, if she's so desperate, why would she just might as well just say yes? Because she has 2 kids to raise.
Right.
This is a congressman. So why not? Sure, go ahead.
Right.
I mean, she's already consented to everything else. Why not? You know?
It was just so bad.
The whole thing was cringe. So cringy.
But it was cringy in such a way that it didn't make sense.
Well, and she did mention, she goes, he's not my dream guy. And I just reflected back on the Tom Selleck episode. And I was like, that's the guy you should have gone with. No.
So in the Tom Selleck episode, just by the way, we haven't talked about that, but that was Memories of Cab 404. 804?
804, yeah.
Yeah, and so she talks about how she drove Tom Selleck's character, I don't remember his name.
Out of town for like an art auction?
Yeah. I figured up the math. It was 140 miles. She probably took him to Albany, New York.
Oh, okay.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Because that's 140 miles away from New York City.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I found it interesting how they portrayed all of that. Because she was driving, they were talking.
Right.
And then
somehow he started driving. That didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense for him to be in the front seat either, because he's a fare. Like, where are the ethics in this at all?
Well, so the only time I understand that is if like they're starting to become friends. That starts to make sense.
I guess if they stop for gas and snacks and stuff. Yeah.
Because it happens in episode 14 with Sugar Mama 2 with Dee.
Yeah.
Dee starts riding in the front with Alex.
Yeah.
So when they start becoming more friendly and less you know, customer situation, but anyway, him starting to drive was weird.
Yeah,
it's her cab.
All I kept thinking was insurance liability, right? Because my adulting brain was like, oh no, we don't do that.
No, you're gonna hit something. But anyway, going back to the lame duck episode, that was wild. And then she ends up staying with him, and that's the end of the episode. And I was like, what?
And then we never see him again.
It's so frustrating.
And we don't hear about her getting married or anything like that.
Right.
Like,
he doesn't stick around.
This is the thing. Okay, so this is just
a continuity thing.
It's my comment is sort of a overall comment for heteronormative relationships, specifically on TV. Somehow we go from meeting at the beginning of the episode to getting married at the end of the episode.
I don't know how that works.
I don't understand.
Unless it's an hour-long episode and there's time jumps, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right? Like, how do you have a whole relationship in 30 minutes or less, actually?
The only time it does make sense is if you do, like, the paper marriage episode. I can't remember what episode number that is, with Ladka.
Right.
Because that was a green card marriage, basically.
Right. Which doesn't work, by the way.
Right?
Yeah.
But...
not in the way they portrayed it anyway, for sure.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. And the immigration people were portrayed as stupid.
Yeah, they came in and then left and then came back. I was like, what?
We'll give you a chance to get your story straight. We'll be back. What?
That doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, so so I was just
what
my thoughts went to dating to married or meeting to married in 30 minutes or less, and I thought, well, that's a great business adventure. If I could just be a matchmaker, I could just do meeting to married in 30 minutes or less. Otherwise, your marriage license is free. Like, that would be great if it actually worked, but it doesn't work.
Elaine does have great lines sometimes. She does have great lines every now and again, like in the lame duck episode. She says, "Damn it, Louie, you little twerp. Now listen to me. I'm not going to take that kind of garbage from you anymore, so you can just cram it." And then she walks away.
Right.
She has some great lines. And then other times she's just, I don't know who she is.
So I think that was an attempt to make her look like an angry woman.
But it didn't work.
No, it didn't work. It didn't land. Yeah.
Louis is not a great guy. Of course he's going to get yelled at.
Right? I mean, he does things to make him get yelled at.
Right?
By everybody. So that makes sense. But then the congressman was standing there and watched all of it.
Right?
And it didn't turn him off or on or any of that. We didn't get a response out of him.
There was no response, yeah.
So the whole thing was kind of like for the audience only. That's confusing. I don't understand. So the only way that would come across in this era and in the context of her being an ornament would be that she's an angry woman who needs to be calmed down by being married.
Rude. Stay angry, people.
I'm just saying that, so that we're coming on the heels of women being touted as hysteria and all this thing, even though that still happens in 2025, people.
It does.
Doctors are still diagnosing basically hysteria to women. It's all in your head. Go home, lose weight, and stay off the bonbons, right? Like, no. Yeah, I have a whole thing to say about that.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's basically what they were portraying.
I know.
All in a nutshell. So
Elaine does have another great quote directly at Louis.
Yeah.
It's another one of my favorites. It's in episode 9, which is Money Troubles. Elaine says, "Louis, I want you to listen very carefully to what I have to say. No." And then walks away.
I love it. I love it.
Walks away. That's it.
I love it. Yes. Yeah.
No is a full sentence, people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're moving on to inequity perspectives.
Okay. So in episode 10, Men Are Such Beasts.
Okay.
Tony is dating a woman
named Denise,
who is not portrayed in good lighting.
No, I'm going to be honest. She reminds me of Jane in the first episode of Coupling.
Exactly. Yes.
Where she just won't allow the breakup to happen.
Right. She keeps trying every which way to stay with Tony.
Right.
Yes. So
including going to his work and starting to work there.
Right.
Because she's also a cabbie.
Yeah. And then the depth of her character gets deeper in that she's a drug dealer.
Well, so that was always a thing. That's because, okay, so I looked up what Bennies and Black Beauties are specifically.
Uh-huh.
Where is that?
Bennies are benzos.
They're Benzedrine.
Yeah.
It's also known as Bennies. It's an amphetamine.
Yeah.
Very popular in the 30s to the 60s. Specifically for fatigue.
Yeah.
Because it's an upper.
That's what I was going to say. It's an upper. Yeah.
Black Beauties is also an upper. It's amphetamine and dextroamphetamine.
Oof.
Yeah. That's what Black Beauties are.
Do not take these people. This will fry your brain. Please do not take them.
Black Beauties were reportedly given to soldiers to decrease fatigue and keep them awake for active combat. So that's why she was making so much money, is because she was working 16 hours in a cab.
And also she didn't have any emotional control.
Exactly.
Yeah. All of it was being led by drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, I have a problem with a woman being portrayed this way. We haven't had any kind of, I mean, aside from Angela.
Right.
There hasn't been a woman portrayed in a way that was strong and confident other than maybe Suzanne, John's wife.
Suzanne's good. She's fairly strong. I would say Dee's pretty strong too.
Yeah.
I would also say Greta, which we hadn't gotten to, but Greta is Latka's mother.
Yeah, she's an immigrant. I mean, she's not even going to stay in the US.
She's not an immigrant. She's
she has
visitor.
a completely different cultural background that
she is a strong character because she stands up to her son. She stands up for herself. She stands up for everything. And she also tries to devour Alex, but that's a different point.
So in episode 10, Men Are Such Beasts, so that was one of the things that when we look at LGBT inequities, and she's not accepting the breakup at the near the end or whatever, Tony's like trying to not be mean, but then Elaine's like, you have to be mean to get her, like to sour the milk basically to get her off.
And that doesn't even work either.
No, it doesn't. And then Elaine's like, he would marry him, and points to...
He wants to marry him.
He wants to marry him and points to Louis, and then the LGBT theme becomes a joke, right? And it's... I don't get it. I don't get why you would make that a joke, because it's not a joke. That's...
I didn't see that. I mean, I guess it is a joke. I didn't see it that way. I was seeing it more as Tony trying to explain that he would rather marry Louis than even be with Denise. And Louis is not a great guy, but he would rather marry Louis.
Yeah, and because it was Elaine's idea, Tony didn't really explain it well, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the writer's problem again.
Again, it's all writing. I think the next seasons get better from what I've heard, but I can't say for certain.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising because Glenn and Les Charles did MASH and Cheers, and MASH and Cheers are really pretty good writing.
The writing in this is just, it's not great. And maybe it's because they haven't figured out the characters yet.
And this is why it's not re-watched
so much. I don't know. It's very light, but it's
light.
not, there's not a lot substance. There are some great lines, some great monologues, but not great. Yeah.
That was the only other, besides the Gay Liberation Force, which doesn't exist.
For inequity. Yeah.
There's not any other really LGBT themes or inequities or...
No, I mean, other inequity is that there's no POC in the main cast.
No, there isn't. That's why I wanted to highlight J. Allen Thomas.
However, there is a Jewish lead, which is
True.
A stretch. That is a big thing for back then, because Judd Hirsch is, even though Alex so far is not Jewish,
the character itself is not Jewish. The actor is Jewish.
The actor is Jewish.
Yeah,
and of Jewish ancestry, and
that's interesting because Danny DeVito is Catholic and married to a Jewish woman, or was married to a Jewish woman.
I think they are still. Maybe, I don't know.
I read about them.
Yeah. That's fine.
They're separated or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Next.
Are you ready for my miscellaneous?
Sure.
Okay. Here we go. So I have some slang terms here real quick. Some of them you probably already know. Some of them you may not. But do you know what a heel is?
Don't be a heel, that kind of
thing?
Yes.
Elaine says that to a lot of the guys. Don't be a heel.
Yeah.
Basically. And it's basically slang for being a dishonest or an untrustworthy person, specifically someone who treats women badly.
I was going to say, probably the images that are coming up, because I think in pictures, is that I get the image of somebody, like their shoe on someone's neck, or, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the way I get that. Yeah.
So in episode 6, getting fresh. So that one's used still every now and again, but getting fresh is inappropriate or forward manner. You know,
we talked about that before, I think, in the I Love Lucy episode.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But it's normally a sexual advance of some
kind.
It's
interesting because I Love Lucy was 20 years before this. 25 years before this. Yeah.
But the words, it still continued. I think getting fresh has slowly lost its speed.
Oh, yeah. If you tell that to people now, they'd be like fruit? Fresh fruit?
Right?
Yeah.
To gild the lily. Do you know what that means?
I've heard it before.
Okay.
Tell me what it means.
So Alex said it, and it means to add unnecessary ornamentation to something beautiful in its own right.
Oh, so like putting lipstick on a pig.
Well, sort of. It's more like adding gold.
Oh, so Gilda Lily would be like adding gold to something already pretty, but lipstick to a pig is like trying to dress up something that's not pretty.
Exactly. It's the other way. So it's not that. So it's more like adding gold to a statue.
Right.
It's unnecessary. You don't need it.
Right.
So those are my slang.
Oh, okay.
It's very small slang.
Right.
So here comes my trivia. So Rocky is mentioned in the second episode. because
that makes sense.
Tony Banta is a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
So Rocky was 1976 American independent sports drama.
I mean, are you an American and not know what Rocky is?
Not all of our listeners are
True.
American. Now,
True.
are they? So, Rocky started a whole franchise. It was the first one. There's been 5 since then, as well as 3 sequel Creed movies. So, there's 8 in total in this.
That's a lot.
I know. It's all about boxers. Did you catch who the guest star was in episode 2?
Episode 2. Let me look at that.
Mm-hmm. He was a special guest star, too.
Dwight Woody?
No.
Oh.
Carlos Palomino.
No, I wouldn't have caught that.
Well, he was literally titled as a special guest star at the very end.
I didn't catch that.
He played the champ, which was Tony Banta's sparring partner that took the dive.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to change things up for himself. Carlos Palomino is an actual person. And he was a Mexican former professional boxer and has slowly pivoted into an acting career. This was his first acting.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So. No, I caught Dwight Woody because, again, Elaine not being portrayed or being portrayed in a weird way. This was the second time we get to see
and interact. Is that the jump rope thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't make any fucking sense. She started jump roping with a guy behind him. And he's like double her size. Right?
And she was just joking around and being silly, but I'm sorry, but this is a big dude with big muscles.
And it's a gym. It's a gym.
Yeah. And then she touches him, unconsenting. Right. Touch. And he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was a whole weird thing.
And then it's, okay, not for nothing, but it was a white woman on a black man. Right. And that's just something that you just don't, I mean, that was a weird scene all the way around. Yeah.
Well, and it started off weird too, because she is carrying this huge ass box. Right. Into the gym because it's a gift for Tony. Right. But then at first I couldn't figure out what the hell she was carrying. Right. Because it's this huge box. And then she hands it to Alex. And then eventually it's a robe, and Tony goes to put it on, and Elaine is the one to help him. Right. Yet the guys were closer.
What also doesn't make sense. Everywhere in the gym is all men. Mm-hmm. She's the only girl. Mm-hmm. I guess the only thing saving grace here is that none of them cared that she was there, and they didn't whistle and catcall her.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize that was going to be the fight because there wasn't a lot of people.
Right. None of it made any sense, really. Again, not written well. Like no.
No, it didn't make much sense.
Yeah. Anyway, the actor that she interacts with the jump rope is Dwight Woody.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't catch that. I caught the boxer dude at the end.
I didn't catch that either, so it's good.
So in episode 5, Bobby makes a joke about the Qantas koala getting sick of it in his cab. Oh, yeah? So Qantas is an Australian airline, and in the 60s and 70s, they had a big commercial campaign with a koala that was upset with the airline. That was their big thing. It was upset and annoyed with the airline about bringing tourists to see the koala.
Wow. Well, that's really some mental stuff right there. Okay. Right? Sure.
It was one joke and it sent me down a weird rabbit hole, but that's the short of that. I'm going to skip that.
I have more questions, but I know.
Yeah. I'm going to skip that one. Okay. We're going to talk about zigzags. So in the paper marriage episode, Alex asks Latka for his papers. Mm-hmm. And he asks, zigzags? The joke didn't land for me because I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So zigzags are rolling papers for smoking.
Oh.
Now it makes sense, and I thought it was candy. Nope. No, the Zigzag Company was started in 1855.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah.
In France.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And it's still there. Still a company.
Still making papers?
Yeah. And other things.
Okay.
Also in episode 8, Phyllis George was mentioned, and I had to look her up. So Phyllis George was an American businesswoman, actress, and sportscaster. In 1975, she was hired as a reporter and co-host to the CBS Sports pre-show for the NFL Today, becoming one of the first women to hold an on-air position in a national televised sports broadcast.
That's awesome.
She was also a first lady of Kentucky, but that's not important.
Right.
That's
stand on alone. Yeah.
She doesn't need that.
No.
Okay, here's my trivia about Danny DeVito.
Oh, I can go there too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Danny DeVito in episode 8 for the paper marriage episode, when Latka's getting married, Danny DeVito was actually playing that violin.
No way.
Yes. He learned specifically that piece for that thing and admits that he was terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
It was awful, and that's because he was actually playing. He did actually go on to learn more violin for a different role and get a little better, but for that role, it was bad.
Awful.
It was bad because he's actually playing it.
That's hilarious. I thought he was playing it awful on purpose, like the actor was playing it awful on purpose.
He just can't play.
That's hilarious.
So
too funny.
There was more to this story, because a tabloid writer took an image of him playing the violin and wrote up a story about how Danny was a violinist who had to give up his career and ended up in a job in TV. And you'd think that'd be the end of it. Yeah. No, Danny DeVito's family fell for it and called him for the next week and a half or so about it. Are you playing the violin? Did you give it up? What?
Wow.
For the next week, he was having to deal with phone calls. Even his mother called him.
Wow.
Anyway.
Okay, so I have some stuff about Danny DeVito, too.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. So I find it interesting that they hired an actor that has physical characteristics that don't match other actors in
the norm.
The norm, yeah. He's not conventionally attractive. He's definitely shorter than everybody else.
Well, that's part of the joke, is that he's this angry dispatcher in the cage up above them, and then he comes out and he's not that tall.
And you hear the audience laugh because they don't know he's short until he comes down the stairs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's part of the joke, at least in the first episode. That's part
in
of
the first episode when he's introduced, yes. So Danny DeVito, I guess he's used to that, so he didn't really have anything to say about that. But Danny DeVito's height is attributed to a condition he was born with called multiple epiphyseal dysplasia, also known as Fairbanks disease. It's a rare genetic disorder that affects the growing ends of bones, and the disease causes chronic joint pain for the life of the patient and is managed by physical therapy and medication.
Wow.
So he'll live a long life. It's just that he has this condition that's been congenital since birth. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. Found that interesting. And watching Danny DeVito do physical comedy.
Oh, he's really good at it.
Just gets me in the side every time.
There's at one point where he jumps in Alex's arms. It's really fun.
Right? Yeah.
He also gets pulled out of the cage by Alex.
Right? Yes. That was a great scene. Great scene.
Very great.
That was awesome. Yeah. So episode 8 was the paper marriage, and that was, although it was very interesting that Latka was getting married to a sex worker. Thought that was interesting. Mm-hmm. But then also, and everybody had respect for her, which I thought was also interesting. Mm-hmm. And she had no punches to pull or anything like that. She's like, I gotta go. So
I'm here for 15 minutes. Gotta go.
Yeah. Got money and rent. But what was interesting is during the wedding, Elaine walked the bride down and Alex walks the groom down.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So it wasn't a switch where Alex walked the bride and then Elaine, and it was just an interesting way to portray them and coming together.
They came in different directions because Latka walked down the aisle.
Did you notice the sex worker walked down the stairs backwards?
Yes, because she had to. They're too steep with the heels. She had no choice.
Yeah. Okay.
It was either walk down backwards or slide down.
Choices.
But that also isn't her wedding dress. That was Elaine's wedding dress.
It was Elaine's wedding dress, and then she rips it off. So
she does.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't rip it. But
right.
You know what I mean?
She pulls it off and leaves.
So anyway, that's what I had for that.
Okay. Episode 9. This is Money Troubles again. but John mentions Melmac when he throws the plate.
The second it hit the floor, I was like, oh, that's that. Yeah, that's
it
Melmac.
did not. Yeah, it didn't do anything. It bounced.
No. Yeah.
So Melmac was a brand name for dinnerware molded in melamine resin from the 1940s to the 1960s.
It was plastic before Tupperware plastic. Yeah.
But it just bounced. It didn't shatter.
Did. And you can still find it in thrift stores today.
Very cool.
Yeah, full sets.
Very cool.
It's very durable. Dishwasher safe. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it just lasts forever.
Yeah, I didn't go that far down.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
The best picnic
just
kind of
throws it and goes Melmac.
Exactly. Yes.
And I was like, what? What is Melmac?
Yeah, because I grew up with Melmac, so that makes sense.
Okay, and jumping to episode 12.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about Lamaze classes.
Okay.
Because that's in the episode where
it's
Mandy Patinkin shows up, by the way.
Right. Memories of Cab 804.
Yep.
Part 2.
Mandy Patinkin shows up, and his character's wife is pregnant and then ends up giving birth in the cab.
Right.
Which, side note, Mandy Patinkin was up for the role of Alex. By the way.
You're kidding. That makes sense.
I find it funny, but also I don't think Mandy Patinkin could have done it the way
that Judge Hirsch did.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would have worked.
Their acting styles are completely different.
Yeah.
But he
also
would have been a pretty good Alex, though.
He could have been
if it would have been better writers,
right?
Yeah.
Alex pulls out the fatherly figure, and I don't think Mandy Patinkin could have done at that time.
Yes, I agree.
Also, Mandy Patinkin went on to do Princess Bride, so
he did.
Very important movie.
The second I saw his face, I was like, nope, don't do it. Yep, did it in my head. Okay,
there it is. Anyway, so Lamaze classes. Lamaze classes became very popular in the 1960s and 70s because of 2 books. Thank You, Dr. Lamaze, written in 1959 by Marjorie Carmel, and then Elizabeth Bing, 6 practical lessons for an easier childbirth in 1960. Those 2 came together and formed the Lamaze International, what is now known as Lamaze International.
Wow. Okay.
So they promote this kind of stuff everywhere. But Lamaze came from Dr. Ferdinand Lamaze when he visited the Soviet Union in the 50s. And he was influenced by the way that they give birth.
Interesting. Okay.
This also started the shift, was also part of the shift of both parents being involved in the birth rather than just the mother. Because fathers were normally not involved at all.
Interesting.
They drop their wives off and then pick up mom and baby.
Interesting. Okay.
See?
Yeah.
I sometimes have interesting facts.
That is very interesting, considering where things have fallen now.
Right.
But, yeah. Back in the day. Okay.
So Woolworths.
Yes.
Episode 13. So I didn't know what Woolworths was because, I had an idea of what Woolworths was, but I didn't actually know, right?
It was the Walgreens of the day.
Sort of. It's a retail company, and it was specifically a 5 and dime store, a nickel store.
Yeah.
Sort of like 5-cent store, anything like that.
Yeah.
The chain went out of business in 1997, and the company decided to primarily focus on sporting goods and renamed themselves Venator Group.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that company was still alive. Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
In a way.
When did Woolworths come into fruition or come about? You know when it started?
I didn't write that down. I apparently forgot to write that down. Whoops.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Sorry.
I want to say it was in the 50s. But I could be wrong.
I want to think further than that. Hold on. Woolworths is still very popular in other places. It's a supermarket chain in like Australia and stuff.
Interesting. I didn't know that either. Can't believe it's still alive. Okay.
Oh yeah,
it's been around a really long time.
Well, I think that Woolworths is different than the one in Australia, but I might be wrong.
Oh.
Woolworths was created. The first Woolworths store was open in 1879.
Oh wow. I really had it wrong. Okay.
In Utica, New York.
Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking that in I Love Lucy, it's mentioned there too, and I think they go into the shop. Anyway, it's probably part of that episode or but part of that series as well, but not during the series that we covered. But
the first store actually failed, and then they redid it the second time.
Interesting. Okay. That's going to be the theme of the whole thing. Interesting.
Interesting. It's a lot of interesting.
Right.
So Jan Murray was mentioned in episode 14.
Okay.
Jan Murray was an American stand-up comedian, actor, and game show host. He was also a regular panelist on Hollywood Squares.
Interesting. Again.
Got a lot of those.
Right.
Episode 14 also mentions Joan Crawford. And she's an American actress. She started her career as a dancer, traveling with theatrical companies before debuting in Broadway. She was then signed by MGM in 1925. She was frustrated by the size of her parts, and so she launched a publicity campaign and built an image nationally known as a flapper by the end of the 1920s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was, Crawford was often played hardworking young woman who found romance and financial success. She played a lot of rags to riches stories.
Interesting. Okay.
Which was well received by Depression era women.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
I've got more. I'm going to keep going.
More on Joan Crawford or more?
No, just more trivia.
Okay. How much more do you want to go?
I got 5 bullets left.
Okay.
It's not as much as I thought. Episode 15, Warren Beatty is mentioned.
Yeah.
He's an actor and a filmmaker. His career spanned 6 decades.
Yeah.
Or has spanned 6 decades because he's still alive. And he has received an Academy Award and 3 Golden Globes. Also in episode 15, the Platters were mentioned.
Okay.
They're an American vocal group formed
I was going to say it's a singing group, yeah.
1952.
Yeah.
One of the most successful vocal groups of the early rock and roll era.
Were they black?
Yep.
Yeah.
They were of color.
That's the ones I was remembering, yeah. These are just really digging in the cobwebs in the back of the closet.
The group had 40 charting singles
on
the Billboard Hot 100s between 1955 and 1967, including 4 number 1 hits. Also in 1990, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nice. Good, yeah.
Skipping that one because I've already done it. So in episode 18, James Caan is mentioned by Louis as somebody who he's gonna definitely come back to the garage. That's what Louis says.
Okay.
James Caan is an American actor.
Yeah.
He's not coming back. He's also he was known for playing Sonny Corleone in The Godfather. He's not coming back to the garage.
Right. I wonder if that was somebody, because you can have the same name, obviously, as somebody else. So
I don't know.
Who knows if that was a mention because somebody knew somebody who knew somebody, right?
I don't know.
Just said, get me in the show somehow. And then that was like, written in somehow.
I don't know, but I looked it up and I was like, oh, damn, that is a real person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in episode 19, Greta, Latka's mother, mentions how she wants to see New York.
Yeah. And
she mentions the garbage strike. So there were 2 in the last 10 years for them. Yeah. That they had to deal with.
That was one of the scenes, or one of the sites you wanted to see was a garbage strike.
It was the garbage strike. So there were actually 2 in New York that they had to deal with. One in 1969 and one in 1975. So there was a 9-day strike in 1969 over wages, and it resulted in the adoption of black plastic bags as an alternative to traditional metal bins.
Oh.
Yeah, because they were struggling to cope and stuff. And the plastic bags were quieter and lighter, and it actually made things easier for sanitation workers to do their job.
I would imagine it would help keep trash from blowing, too.
That, too.
Yeah.
The strike in 1975, 10,000 sanitation men went on strike in order to protest 2,934 layoffs that happened when they were trying to do cutbacks.
Wow. So the union got together and tried to get their fellow workers back. Wow.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
I have 2 more.
Oh my goodness, girl.
I'm so sorry. I went down rabbit holes. Also, I just didn't know a lot of people. Lana Turner was mentioned in episode 21. Yeah. Because Mary Lou Henner looks like her, quote unquote.
Okay, yeah.
She was an American actress. She had a career that spanned 55. Can't talk. She had a career that spanned 5 decades. She achieved fame both as a pinup model and an actress.
Lana Turner's also mentioned in I Love Lucy when Fred says, "Is it Lana Turner?" when he gets excited about them going to Hollywood. Are we going to meet Lana Turner?
But we haven't gotten there yet.
I know.
That was not in the one. That was not in the one that we talked about. So I do have one more, and it's back to episode 18 or episode 19. Excuse me, but it's about the Big Apple. Mm-hmm. So people talked about the Big Apple, and I was like, "Why the hell is it called the Big Apple?"
Yeah, I don't know that actually.
Well, I have the answer for you. So the nickname was started in the 1920s by a sports writer for the New York Morning Telegraph, John J. Fitzgerald.
Okay.
It started in 1920 because he's heard, I almost said stagehands, but that's not the right word. It's horseback riding, horses. The people who handle the horses, not the people who own the horses, but the people who actually take care of the horses, were calling it the Big Apple because of the prizes that the horses could win when they would go. Okay. So they were calling it the Big Apple, and he overheard them saying that. So then he started calling it the Big Apple.
Oh, how funny.
And it's just spread. And then it slowly dwindled as people stopped calling it that. Yeah. And then in the 1970s, New York rebranded and did a whole media push out about being called the Big Apple. Mm-hmm. And now we call it the Big Apple.
How funny. I don't call it the Big Apple. I call it New York. But
so it all comes back to horses, not actual apples.
Right.
It all comes back to horses.
That's so funny.
And horseback racing.
Okay.
I am officially out of trivia.
Okay. I have some trivia.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's worth mentioning though, because what we haven't talked about, and I think it's kind of glaring that we should talk about it. Okay. Is Andy Kaufman's portrayal of an immigrant.
Okay. I feel like we should mention before you go down this rabbit hole is Andy Kaufman was not a traditional stand-up comedian.
He was not.
His work was comedy performance art.
It was unconventional and somewhat funny. It's not my cup of tea.
It wasn't always funny, and sometimes he wasn't trying to be. Right. It was more performance art than anything. He was trying to make some kind of statement. Right. He even had an alter ego. Yeah. That was actually supposed to make an appearance on this show. Well, Latka as a brother to Louis.
Well, Latka is a character that he was portraying on stage. That's how it became this. So he's not an immigrant. He's an American. So I just wanted to make sure that the audience knew that we had picked up on that. Yeah. And so that's it's sort of a racial thing racial-ish because it's not supposed to be from anywhere. No. And he speaks gibberish.
Yeah, it's not a language.
And then everybody else starts picking up words, which are not words. They're just like syllables or sounds.
Yeah, they start saying Yakabai. Right? Because I think that means butt or ass. I'm not sure.
So anyway, yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning. Remember. Yeah, that he is not portraying anyone in particular. This is a totally made up country.
And there is no country. He has no country. He says homeland. He doesn't say where he's from. He just says homeland.
Well, wherever. He's not from anywhere that's on Earth. Yeah, that's not a real thing. It's a made-up thing. Andy Kaufman, it's his creation. Yes. It comes from his art. And somehow, I don't know how he got on this show. I didn't look too far into it.
Because he did do comedy. He was very big in the comedy circles.
I know that, but what I don't understand is how did he get picked up for this show? So that would be something I would have to look into.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah. But because he seems like like Elaine. Like we need to add a comedy piece because there's not a lot of comedy. And to me, he's not funny. Some things are funny, but most of it's not funny. Yeah. I mean, some of the things like, when he showed up from the dirty overalls to the clean ones, that was funny. Then when he showed up to the dinner.
His misunderstanding of showing up to the dinner was very funny.
He brings his own homemade alcohol and it comes out like molasses Well, that was funny to me.
What I also found funny in that episode was him getting really mad at Alex for stealing his lines.
Yes, because he was trained.
He was practicing lines with Elaine.
Yeah. And then Alex keeps stealing all of the general statements you make at dinner. Yeah.
Stop saying those.
Yeah.
I have no idea what else to say.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a special place for Andy Kaufman. And I've watched Jim Carrey's portrayal of him, and I probably would categorize Andy Kaufman as neurodivergent and probably widely misunderstood.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate him trying to craft and carve his own way in comedy, because it's super difficult to do. So I just wanted to mention, though, it wasn't lost on us that he was portraying an immigrant, even though he's not really portraying an immigrant that's real.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's playing an immigrant, but not an immigrant from anywhere.
Right.
Just to America.
I think because of that, it kind of gets lost.
Yeah, I think a little bit, but also I think that's what makes it more timeless. Maybe. If that makes any sense?
Yeah.
Because then there's no commentary about him being a Mexican immigrant or some kind of like Polish or something like that.
Because I'm not an immigrant, I thought it would be worth mentioning, because if immigrants are out there watching, or, take our word for these things, there might be some kind of triggering there.
It might be. It may also be funny for them.
It could be funny for them. Yeah.
Because they might live that life. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's
where they've made the same mistake that Latka does.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have a list of special guest stars that we didn't say.
I forgot one thing too. So it's not a trivia. It's more of just a fact.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Episode 11 and 12. It's a part 1, part 2. It's Memories of Cab 408. We've mentioned it a few times.
Cab 804.
804. What did I say?
408.
Damn it. I wanted to mention that episodes 11 and 12 are not a clip show.
No, they're not.
It's a flashback episode.
Flashbacks of things we haven't seen.
Flashback episode, that's exactly what a flashback episode is.
Ah, okay.
This is TV trivia, basically. A clip show is things you've already seen put together.
Oh.
A flashback episode is things that happened before the show started that you have not seen. Mm-hmm. That's what that is.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's awesome.
So.
Yeah.
TV trivia.
Yeah. Just general TV trivia.
Yeah. General TV trivia. That's just what you call those episodes.
So the only thing I have left is special guest stars.
Okay.
Showed up that we haven't mentioned yet.
Okay. Special guest stars.
Christopher Lloyd.
Okay.
Who was in Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in context for you. He's had a long career.
Yeah.
But Christopher Lloyd showed up.
I'm trying to figure out where the hell he was in the episode.
He was the Reverend marrying Latka and the sex worker.
Oh, okay. That character comes back in the next seasons.
Back. Yeah, in the trivia for Randall Carver, he actually replaces Randall Carver.
He does.
In the troop, right? The gang.
He does.
Yeah. So he showed up. Mandy Patinkin we mentioned. Tom Selleck we mentioned. Ruth Gordon we mentioned. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Tambor we mentioned. Martin Mull. Did you catch Martin Mull?
I did catch Martin Mull.
He died in 2024. I looked him up because I was like, yes, it is that guy.
It is Martin Mull. Yeah. I do have a fun fact about that episode. That was based on what the creators did. So that episode, Hollywood people come to talk to the cabbies so that they can make a movie. Yeah. That's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
To figure out characters. And then that's how they ended up figuring out this Alex character was just a cabbie who's a cabbie.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be anything else.
As an identity.
Yeah. He doesn't want to be anything else because everybody else, Bobby wants to be an actor. Tony wants to be a boxer. Mm-hmm. Elaine wants to be in the art world. This is her second job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody has something else that they want to be except for Alex.
John
John wants to go be in forestry.
Right. Yeah. Everybody wants to do something else.
Except for
Alex. So Alex and Louis. Yeah. Are like in it. That's their identity. That's how they provide for themselves. And yeah.
So that whole episode was based on what they actually did. And that's why Alex keeps mentioning this should be a TV show. This would be better for television.
Yeah.
Because it is a television show.
Yeah. I thought that was funny how they tied that in.
Mm-hmm.
So all the ones I mentioned just before, people, I guess 40 and above would know. Mm-hmm. So I would say people 65, 70 and above in age will know these people. So Gary Imhoff, Joey Oresco, and David Knapp. They were all pretty famous during that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I just wanted to go ahead and add those three people, even though I don't remember them because, I was a baby, but I remember all the other ones.
Yeah.
Except for Ruth Gordon. I actually knew Ruth Gordon because she's been in a bunch of things that I've seen.
Right.
So I was like, I know that voice and I know that face.
Right.
And so I had to look her up. So yeah.
Cool.
She's an interesting character. But yeah.
Very, very cool.
I think that's all I have.
All right. I think we did this.
It
wasn't too terrible.
No, not terrible.
I actually like Taxi just in general. Did you like Taxi?
Yeah, it was okay.
I mean, it's not great.
It's something for like background stuff.
It is great to have on in the background. If you're looking for a new sitcom to put on in the background, that like The Office or Friends or something that you put on in the background and then walk away while you clean house, deal with the kids, do work, whatever. This is the show.
It's a good one because there are lines and quips that you're like, oh man, that's funny. But that's pretty much all you get. There's not a whole lot. At least for this first season. It might get better. I'm not quite sure. I love Judd Hirsch and I love Danny DeVito in their portrayal of these characters. I mean, just beautiful acting. Mm-hmm. So that despite the writing, they pull off everything.
And Alex has some great lines, I have to say.
Yeah. Sometimes
they're poignant, sometimes they're funny.
Oh, I do have a quote I can end us on.
Sure. I was going to pull up some quotes, but okay.
So, a quote that I have from Alex is, everyone's a little bit unhappy and wishes they were doing something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Because it's really true. And the way he delivered it was really nice. So I was like, oh, yeah. So, I mean, I always pride myself in being in a form of contentment, not trying to reach happiness or sadness, and just trying to be even and calm. So I just found that to be a good quote.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to end on a funnier quote?
Sure.
Why not? Because this is the one that made me laugh every time I looked at it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's in episode 18. It's Louie. And he's talking to Bobby. And he says, "Don't smile at me when I'm yelling at you." Every time that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we done?
I think we're good.
Yeah. Thanks for riding with us on this one, guys.
Yeah, this was a crazy one, especially because neither of us had ever seen it. So it's very interesting to watch something we've never seen.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
We're going to challenge ourselves a bit more.
Of course.
So you get to ride with us some more.
Always.
Yeah. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Take care of yourselves.
Love yourself.